Hi friends, it's Robin with Pale Bird Designs, and welcome back to Basics Bootcamp Tumbler Edition. This week we're working on irregular cut glitters. I'm working with shapes, and I'm going to show you how to do a super quick, easy, I need a gift for this weekend type tumbler design. So I'm going to start with a prepped junior from the Steel Magnolia and a decal I cut out in the matte holographic from Tech Graph, which I really love. It's like a soft finish. It's not super shiny, but it's shiny enough. I'm going to mix up about 15 milliliters of epoxy, and I'm going to add a bunch of the white micas to it. I used golden ice, I used cherry ice, I used avocado ice, and I used blueberry ice because I cannot find my purple one, and that one's in the mail on its way to me. But this will give it a really sparkly finish without having to do an extra layer with glitter. So I'm going to mix that up, and then we're going to add it to our tumbler. And I love this design because it's super easy. This is probably only going to take 2 coats of epoxy, and I can do everything on my turner. I do not have to move it. So if you can't hold and do glitter at the same time, everything can be done while it's sitting on your turner. You don't have to move it. And if you really needed to, you could do it one-handed. So I'm going to get this epoxy on with the micas in it, make sure it's kind of got the coverage I want, knowing that it's going to move a little bit, and just making sure where I've got some of those little streakies that I'm not missing any mica in those spots. So you'll see me go back in with a little bit in those areas. And then I'm going to go in with my little 4-point stars that match this decal. And I was going to use a couple of colors, and then I decided to use all 12. You can do this with any types of shapes that you have, or any, a chunky or a dot glitter. But I really like that it's custom. I can choose the colors. And it's, a fun little easy design for, kind of any event because they're stars. But any shape would work for this design. If you have a certain decal and you're trying to match it, like rubber duckies would be cute, or leaves in the fall, the Mickey Mouse heads, pretty much anything and everything you can think of. So I'm just going to continue on sprinkling all these little stars and kind of placing them. I don't really care where they land, but I don't really want them to be on top of each other. So you will see me move some of them because I don't want them to stack, and I don't want them to be on my decal. Aside from that, I really don't care where they fall. And I'll speed up a little bit through this part because it's just a lot of sprinkling on the stars. And now that I've gotten to my last color, which is that pretty clear white one, but I wanted to use all 12 because it didn't feel right to leave one out. You'll see me go in, and I'm just moving the stars so they're not sitting on top of each other. I'm getting these ones off of the decal because 5 or 6 of them really wanted to land there, especially of these dark blue. And aside from that, I'm just kind of moving them a little bit so they're not touching one another, they're not overlapped, and filling in some of those spots that just look a little too empty to me. But it's supposed to be, a scattered design, so it 100% does not need to be perfect. And then I'll let this dry overnight, probably, because it's pretty late, and then we'll come back, give it another coat of epoxy, and it should be ready to go. Now that it's dry, I did coat the whole thing with polyacrylic just so the glitters are sealed so they don't repel at all. And we're going to go ahead and put on the final coat of epoxy that this one should need. Because everything laid super flat, I'm not worried about having to sand it or anything on this coat. And then I'll show you when it's done. And it's done. It's got a great sparkle on it. I love the mica powders and the epoxy. It makes a super quick, easy cup. I hope you try it for yourself. I've linked everything below in the description. Make sure to check out Katy and Kimberly's YouTube channels as well. Those are linked too. And see you next time. Bye, friends.